Hey, today on Minuteman Preparedness, we're going to jump into our book review for the second book, Modern Civil Defense, which was put together by my friend George Turner over at the Venerable Owl. We're going to jump into this book review today. We're going to talk about why I like it and why you need to get it for your prepper library. That'll be coming up next on Minuteman Preparedness. Hey, so welcome back to Minuteman Preparedness. So, like in the intro, I said we're going to be talking about the second book that my friend George Turner over at the Venerable Owl put out. And like I said in the first video, he sent me both of his books free of charge, wanted me to read them over. And if I like them, let you all know about them and how to get your hands on them if it's something that you would be interested in reading and putting in your prepper's library. Which we all know information is power. The more information you have, the more knowledge and power you can have. So this book is the second of the two that he had put out, Modern Civil Defense, Emergency Sanitation at Home. Now, this book deals with all the aspects of the sanitation part in the first part, but the second part of the book is a bunch of information that he put together himself. So let's jump into the information on the book here. So again, the title is Modern Civil Defense, Emergency Sanitation at Home. And then at the bottom it states here that it does contain additional preparedness articles. So it was edited by George Turner over at the Venerable Owl. And you can pick it up at Barnes and Nobel online. I checked this morning and it's going for $9.49 for this information right here. To me, it's a steal. I'd jump on it. As I stated, there's kind of two parts to this book. So the first part was originally a pamphlet from 1961, which was issued by the U.S. Office of Civil Defense, which was consolidated into FEMA in 1979. And as I stated in the first review of this, the U.S. Office of Civil Defense, was consolidated, so we don't actually have the U.S. Office of Civil Defense, but we do have the American Civil Defense Association, which is actually talked about in the back of this book. It's a free resource. It's a nonprofit. You can go onto their website and pull up just a ton of information that you can download for free. They actually have a binder set up of information about everything you could ever need to know. And I mean, it's quite large, so I printed it off in sections, and I'll show you all that one day. But there's a lot of information there that you can obtain for free. But we're going to go out and purchase this book at Barnes and Nobel online and help support our friend George Turner, because he's doing some good things, and we need to help each other out and work with each other, and try to push this preparedness lifestyle, or this kind of, I guess best way to put it is lifestyle that we've kind of put ourselves into. We need to kind of help push this out and educate people, because we have to remember, the more people that are knowledgeable and educated and prepared, that will be less people and less strain on the system itself if something bad happens. So it makes it easier and better for all of us if more people are prepared. So back to the book. So let's see here. It's 57 pages. There's several pages in the back of the book, as in the first book, that are there for personal note taking. And so the first section of the book, it covers all aspects of water, that being storage, amounts, uses, and purification. It deals with food, storage preparation, and outdoor cooking, and gives some examples for outdoor cooking, and how to deal with sewage and trash. which those are two very important things, and that is something a lot of people don't think about. If you don't properly dispose of trash and sewage in emergency sanitations, say your municipal dump's not open, because something bad's going on, trash service isn't picking up, whether it be municipal or private, what are people going to do with their trash? And if your facilities, your toilets, your bathrooms not working, how are you going to deal with that? Because if you don't deal with sewage in the proper manner, that can make you and a whole lot of other people sick. Some really bad things can come out of that. And the same with trash. That trash brings in rodents, roaches and rats and possums and all types of things, even though possums appear to be dirty, but they're not very dirty creatures at all. But we don't want these things around because it's just, it can make you sick. It can bring in creatures that can carry diseases all around and, just spread around. So it deals with all those aspects. Then the second part of the book is information that George put together himself. Very good information. Of course, a lot of it, I already knew because of being involved in this type of stuff, for 12, 13 plus years. But again, it's a good reminder, it's a good refresher to go over a lot of this information, and there are a few things in here that I hadn't thought about, and so it's good to find some resources that kind of open you up to additional information. So the second part of the book, he has sections dealing with preparedness resources, hygiene, again, which is very important and a lot of the times overlooked, sleeper cells with terrorism, cybersecurity, financial preparedness, financial misconceptions, get-home bags, evacuation plans, and several other sections of information that are important. And George actually states in the book, just like he did the first one, that we do have to be mindful that the first part of this book, the pamphlet, was from 1961, and so that some of the information is a little bit older, but it is still good information to have. A lot of it is still extremely pertinent, and so you can never have too much information. And even if some of the information may be outdated, you may be able to read it and revamp it, to a more modern day solution for your problem or situation. But, for me, this was an awesome book for $9 and 94 cents. Go to Barnes and Nobel online, type in modern civil defense and the emergency sanitation at home. This book will pop up along with his other book. Go ahead and grab them. Let's support George over at the Venerable Owl and help yourself, your family, and your friends by gaining some knowledge. And it's always nice to have hard copies of this knowledge because you can read it, review it, mark sections that are important. Then you put your important books inside of a Ziploc bag and then place them inside of a plastic container, and store them with your emergency preparedness items. That way they're out of the dust and debris. They're inside of a Ziploc bag, style bag, where, they won't have an issue with getting moisture or anything like that on them. And then you can review them, here and there. But if something bad happens, you have a hard copy of that information so you can revert back to it during that emergency situation. But with that, I want everyone to have a great weekend. Stay safe. Have a great day. Minuteman out.